What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Cooper here, and today we are going to be making a DIY background for an aquarium. I'm super excited to get this project started, so let's get going. First off, we have our 5-gallon tank. You can see we have some supplies. So there's some things that you're going to need when doing a project like this. You're going to need some silicone. This is going to be your sealant. This is aquarium sealant, so this is actually for just making sure your aquarium doesn't leak. But you can also use other types of silicone that are non-toxic for fish. You got your box cutter razor blade here. This is going to be important when cutting the PVC board right here. It's pretty thick, non-toxic to fish, and this will be where we place our rocks. Right here we have this backsplash rock from Lowe's. This is just basically rock that has been organized and put into a pattern, kind of have a 3D shape. Really cool, actually. I'm really excited to use that, going with kind of a darker theme. We also have some slate here. This can be broken up into pieces, but of course brings out that dark color and will really make plants and fish pop out of the background. Next we have some manzanita wood, and this has also already been cured and great to put in the tank. Alright, these are the supplies you're going to need. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take some rubbing alcohol, some cotton balls, and kind of wipe down the side of the back just to make it super clean and a great surface for the silicone to grip onto to make sure we have a good seal for the background. What we're going to do is we're going to cut out the PVC board, and then we're going to put the PVC board into here as it's a little bit bendable so it would fit exactly to size. And then after we fit it exactly to size, we can flip this tank over like so and just work from the inside like this and not have to worry about the poster board not being and covering the entire back. If we work at it from this angle, the PVC board will cover the back of the aquarium completely, and then we can work through here. So like I mentioned, we're going to need to cut this PVC board and cut it to size. Measure this. I'm just going to place it down onto the PVC board and then take a razor and score where I need to cut. And then from there on, I can cut the exact place that I need to cut. You take care when making these marks. No one wants to get cut or hurt. Just take your time. Be careful. If it's a little bit off, like I've done it, you can just take your time, redo it, and it's better to be a little big than a little too small, just so you can always trim it off later at the end. Official cutting board underneath the PVC board. Now I can start making deep cuts and making sure it lines up. I forgot to mention that the reason we're using PVC board as our background and gluing the rocks on it instead of gluing the rocks directly on the glass is because if for some reason you wanted to change the background out, all you would have to do is take out the PVC board instead of prying each rock individually. That would probably end up breaking the glass. So we have this PVC board, has a much better design for this. Thanks to RX Fishman, I think is the name of his YouTube channel. Good friend of mine. Thank you so much for helping me out here. I'll put his YouTube channel in the description below. Make sure to go check that out and subscribe to him. He has some really good stuff going on. Our PVC board cut to shape. By no means is it a perfect rectangle. Doesn't have to be. Just has to be good enough. And let's see if it is good enough. Gonna bend it on the sides, place it in there, press it up against the back. Would you look at that? Everything is tight, and now we know that it fits. Okay, now we're gonna use some silicone and put some beads on. Press up against there. Now that we have the PVC board in, we can go to the fun part, which is putting our rocks into whatever design that we want them to go on here. Now, you're going to need a hammer probably to hammer and chisel the rocks where you want to go, obviously, for your safety glasses, but I'm going to go to the workbench and chip away some rocks just to make it so I can make up some cool designs, and then we could silicone the rocks on here and finish our background. My goal is to break off this piece in half, which is 3 inches. I'm going to put it in the top 3 inches of the tank. Now you notice I'm going to leave some space down in the bottom part of the tank because, as you know, you'll have your substrate, your dirt, or your gravel to cover that up. So you don't need to fill it all the way to the bottom of the tank because you know that you're going to be putting in your substrate. I accidentally broke this piece by my hand, which is exactly what I needed. So this is perfect. Let's set it in and see where we want it to go. So you'll have to mess around and see exactly where you want the piece to go. So this is my preliminary design. Here I have all of the rocks now laid down. The first layer of rock, I have that backsplash, and then I use slate over the top to get some more 3D texture, as you can see right there. So this is my preliminary design. I'm going to need to silicone all this together, but first I got to show you the gaps and some of the things I had to overcome here. So as you can see here, this piece kind of pops out, and that's because it's a broken piece. Part of this I broke then, and there would be a gap right in here. But as you can do with anything that is non-toxic, this is just more pieces of that PVC board. I placed it in there so it became level with this. So then when I put silicone on, it will all just be level and steady. Of course, this is some slate, another slate piece that will have to be glued on or siliconed onto this rock right here. And then over here there was another empty space, and I added more poster board for that. That'll be siliconed on. A silicone sandwich of poster board plus a rock against the backdrop. Now this should be really cool once it's all finished. Plus, I'll make sure to use black sand, add some more pieces of this slate right here into the scape just to make everything blend in together. This will sure make some live plants pop, plus some colorful fishes definitely will pop against this awesome background. Let's get the final product. Now, with the manzanita wood, I broke off a piece like this, and I'm going to place it in here like so. So it really gives some awesome 3D texture popping right out of the scape. It actually looks like that the log is actually a dead plant coming out of the slate, like as it was trying to grow through the cracks. And this is going to add some really good texture. It's going to make this background really pop, and the plants will grow around it and it'll look really, really cool. Now I'm beginning to add the wood in here with silicone, and it is a very, very, very delicate process. So you're going to want to take your time, be careful, maybe apply some pressure for a few seconds after you place the wood down. We have some excess silicone on the side here. We can always take that off with a razor later. I'm going to keep adding some accent pieces of wood, and I think it's going to turn out great. Alright, this is what it is for now. I added some wood in there. That was very technical. As you can see, there's some extra silicone we'll have to get out tomorrow. We'll let it dry until morning, set it up just to see how it looks. Then set it back down. I want it to dry for probably 1 or 2 days just to make sure that everything has been sealed and everything will not fall off. What is going on? It is the next morning, and I am super happy with how the tank turned out. But we still have to do a little bit of maintenance. We see I got a little messy with the silicone, and I think most people probably will when they're doing their siliconing stuff. And what you can do is you can take a razor blade and trim around it just to make it more clean. And if you can't get the little stuff, it's all okay because it's clear. But just to make it look a little more professional, we're going to take a razor blade and just trim it up a little bit. So here it is, guys. I'm so happy with it. I haven't yet flipped it up just because on the directions of the silicone it says that you should let it dry for 24 hours till it's completely cured, 48 hours before actually putting water in it. So I know this rock is super heavy, so I'm just letting it sit just to make sure. But now we can take the razor blade and start getting some of those spots that have extra silicone on them. We can just go around and cut that off and just trim it just to make it look a little bit better in the end. Now this process shouldn't be too hard. You just to take it nice and slow and just trim off that extra silicone just to give it a more professional look. Obviously take your time, but I'm just going along cutting that extra silicone. Okay, now I'm tearing some of that away. Okay, so I've taken a lot of the extra silicone off, as you can see right here. It was a much more tedious process than I thought, getting all the extra silicone off, but definitely worth it. Makes it much more clean. So really excited with how this turned out. So let's hit a little bit of a montage, eh? Tipping it over for the first time. Hopefully everything stays. Boom. Voila. There it is. My new background for my aquarium. And the fun thing about this is when you do your own, no one else is going to have the same exact one you do. So it's unique. It's fun to make, pretty low budget as well, so really recommend trying this at home. You got this. Well guys, I honestly could not be more happy with how this baby turned out. Just takes a little bit of time, creativity, anyone can do it. It was super fun. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because we're gonna be doing a lot with this tank. Aquascaping it, putting plants, fish in there, you name it. We're gonna be doing some fun stuff with this. So hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you like these kinds of videos, just so I know, should I make more of them or not? I like these videos, so hit that like button. Also, that is about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will catch you in that next video. See ya.